Stick around and find out. Tonight, what time is it where you are? Many accounts. Guys, how's the music volume? Ooh, synchronicity. Volume is good. How's everybody's weekend? Is there sun where you are? There's been sun all day here. It just got a little cloudy, so I thought I'd come in and chill. You bought quickies. Oh, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, you saw the acting clip. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to see it publicly screened. I'm not doing AI. What do you mean? Am I a specialist? As in, do I discriminate against people based on specialization? No. How do you take care of your hair? I have a hair routine tutorial on YouTube, so go check it out. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube yet, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? I'm exploring ways to integrate the sacred without invoking inherited notions of divinity. Can you explain what you mean by that? Do you mean that you're trying to be spiritual without the dogma, without the beliefs and contradictions? What are you trying to say? What does the quote on the wall behind you say? It says, if you have love, then you don't need anything else. It's backwards, but you get it. If you have love, you don't need anything else. I wonder if I can zoom in on it. Oh, I can. There you go. Nice and back. Love wins always. It does. It really does. Well, it can. Or maybe it does in forms we don't recognize sometimes. On my current studies, you mean Palestine? Well, when I'm done, I'm almost done. And when I'm done, then I'll talk about it. My neck hurts, you guys. Thank you guys for the roses. Listen, you guys, I want to tell you a riddle. Do you want to do a little riddle? It is Tash Sons. Yes. Okay, we're down. Let me riddle you right in then. Now, if you already know the riddle, and you know where it's from, and you know the answer, chill, okay? Don't say the answer. I'm going to say the riddle. Hey, Bonnie. I'm going to say the riddle. And if you know, because you already know, then wait. Let whoever doesn't know try and guess it. So the riddle is, what walks on 4 feet in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 at night? All right. All right, y'all. I know some of you have read it. I know some of you already know. I know some of you been cheating. Some of you probably a little bit clever. So I'll give it to you. Are you ready for another one? And also, for anyone who doesn't know where that was from Oedipus Rex. That was the Sphinx. The Sphinx asks him the riddle, and he has to answer, and the answer is man. Man, humans, people. And it's a metaphor. Man, as an infant, he crawls on all 4s. As an adult, he walks on 2 legs, and in old age, he uses a walking stick. 4 feet in the morning, as in when we're born, 2 in the afternoon when we're adults, 3 at night when we're making our way to the cemetery on Arcane. All right, let's do some more fun ones. Are we ready? All right, this one is simple. All right, y'all get ready. 3, 2, 1. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Toilet paper. Oh my goodness. You know, it's footsteps, but I feel like time isn't incorrect. You know? So for everyone who thought time, I feel like that could be correct as well. All right, what's more useful when it's broken? My heart. I feel like time doesn't exist. I feel you, Ava. I feel like time is like this implicit fact of things that we've separated into something else. It was an egg, guys. Great job. All right, let's do something a little bit more difficult. All right. Are you ready? What gets broken without being held? This is the last one. What gets broken without being held? Oh, Ouija. Damn. Hearts, y'all. Everybody in pain tonight. It's a promise. Damn. Wow. Are we all right, you guys? Are we okay? Now that we've had our fun warming up, doing some riddles, getting our energy moving and flowing together. Let's read some tarot. Who here is into tarot, reads tarot, has heard of tarot, isn't into tarot but has been considering reading tarot? Especially like who is maybe not a beginner but has been reading for a little bit but is still kind of confused, like doesn't yet quite feel the full magic of it or feel like they've connected with their deck that well. Yeah, lots of us. There's so many of us. All right, well, today we're going to read some tarot together. I'm just going to read some people in here. And I'm going to continuously remind you of something very important that's happening in 1 month on the 20th of August. And that is my tarot workshop. And it's going to be 4 hours long. You'll have the chance to be read by me personally in the workshop and to read someone else under my guidance after you've studied almost 10 hours worth of material, video material that I have prepared for you to get you ready to read in the workshop. So the preliminary material includes like the cultural history of tarot, all of the basics and foundational rules, my personal approaches to tarot, spreads and how to read them, numerology, and then, of course, deep dives into the religious and mythological symbolism of the Wade Smith Tarot. And the tickets are out now. They're on my website, twitchy-witch.com. It's the first link when you go on the website, it's a little Eventbrite thing. So go there, get your ticket. The spots are limited. I think about half of them are gone. A little less than half are gone already. And we just opened sales like 3-4 days ago around the new moon. Go get your ticket and let's do this. I'm just letting some cards fall and do a collective reading because it feels like a lot of us are on a similar current lately. And I know we say that a lot, and it's very common among readers to do collective readings, but I feel like after this new moon shift, this most recent new moon and all the shifts that have been happening, there is something collective in the air. It's almost like everyone I see or speak to is in conversation, is in like one long continuous conversation with one another, even though they're not connected to one another in any way. They're not speaking to each other between here and my friends and in the world and in my own mind. And it just feels like all of us are on a kind of precipice. It's pretty painful. It's pretty scary. Oh my God, just as I said that we're all on a precipice and it's pretty scary, the Hanged Man in reverse fell out. And that's literally it, because it feels like we're hanging in the air. Like everything is hanging in the air. Like we've come this far and we're all collectively realizing that we are manifesting our realities with our mind. Truly, like that's what's happening, say, right here and now. Like I have manifested you here to talk about this with you, and you have manifested me because you want to hear it. Together, we're just syncing up mentally. We're syncing up vibrationally. The frequency is changing. It's being shifted amongst us. We're becoming a blob, energetic blob, making its own frequency. And you know, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary, especially since even though that's happening, it still feels very individual. Like I know that so many of us are on the precipice of leaving the life that's been forced down our throat, beginning and creating the life that we know was meant for us, that we know we were meant to bring. She's into it. Hey! Wow. They really felt that, y'all. We must have been saying some crazy shit. What? What were we saying? That, see, with the cloth out and the cards open and shuffling and us talking, that in itself is the greatest sign. So we already know that it is potent. It is potent in here, y'all. Whoop! Just as I was saying that it's so potent in here. What up? The sun. Wow, we have so many good cards. All right, I'm gonna shuffle a little bit more, see what falls out. So do you guys, does that resonate with you, what I was saying? I was on a whole rant, a little lost in my mind. ADD got cut off with the cats. I can't really remember where I was, but did you feel it? Because I was feeling it and the cats were feeling it. Thank you guys so much for the gifts, by the way. I'm sorry if I missed you. All right, let's see what we have going on. We're collectively starting to understand. Collectively understanding what it means to make an individual effort in a direction that benefits all, as opposed to just benefits us. And I think it's the unlearning and reprogramming of the scarcity mindset that we've always lived in, because even before patriarchy and capitalism, etc., scarcity amongst humans was always a thing. Like before we were becoming the tribes and speaking to one another, etc. Well, I mean, it's supposed that we were attacking each other for food, you know? We had less advanced healthcare, less access to materials. And today there is so much abundance, so much to go around. Not that there wasn't before. I'd say the earth has always been abundant. But at the same time, we have always been creatures of fear, creatures of contests, and we challenge one another the same way that animals challenge one another. I'd say is probably the place we come from. But we also work together, and we also know now, it's become so clear how abundant the world truly is and can be for all of us. No one's success or happiness ever has to impede on or come at the cost of mine, whereas it was always the opposite, really. You know, we're taught, especially in a capitalist culture, that we need to compete for jobs. In a patriarchal society, we need to compete for men. Not just because it's patriarchal, but for example, if we're in, the 1800s, say, men are going to war and women aren't, there are going to be a lot less men around. And that's going to make it more difficult for us to have children, and there are going to be less men for us to have children, so we have to fight over the men. Everything that really exudes ultimately from the patriarchy and from the way that the military-industrial complex is set up in a way so that we're always competing with one another, so that we always feel like we need to take from one another, we need to benefit at the expense of each other. But we don't. Actually, it's becoming more and more clear that we don't at all. And that more for all is more for all. Like the more there is for all. You know? Yes. Lots of really interesting cards. We don't. Come on, Alexandra. And thank you for the gifts. I'm sorry if I'm missing you guys. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for the follows. And if you haven't already, go get your workshop tickets. And let's read these cards. Now, I'm reading with the Marseille Tarot. I haven't been reading with the Marseille Tarot as long as I have been reading with the Wade Smith, but I am going to be reading with the Marseille during the workshop. Now, like I said, this is a collective reading for all of us. It has a lot to do with the conversation that we were having. It begins, first and foremost, with this Tower in reverse. Now, what this card is telling me, and this is myself included, okay? I'm in this collective reading. Like, I'm on this vibe that I was describing to y'all. I feel like we're all on the vibe. The essence of this energy that we're all in is one where we feel like we've been so complicit in the creation of our illusions and of this life that we know we're not totally in love with, but that we built and dedicated ourselves to because it was what was expected of us. It was what was needed of us. There were so many external influences that guided us, even against our own will and even against our own passions and intuition, maybe. But a lot of things have been happening that are revealing that this thing we've built is an illusion. We're not going to be able to live it out, like it's eating at our soul at this point. And we know it is. We're just having a really hard time letting it fall apart. So the Tower card here is called La Maison Dieu, the House of God, the Tower of Babel, the Castle of Pluto. And yes, it represents this failed illusion in a sense of everything that is built in ego is doomed to failure, because the soul is eventually going to make its way through, like what a lot of people call a midlife crisis, for example. I think a lot of the time is the reemergence of this person's essential spirit, their soul, but just so much in the most wrong time almost, because they've built this whole life based in ego and based on their egoic knowledge or egoic beliefs and convictions and judgments, etc. And all of a sudden something happens and everything falls apart and they start acting out because they can't leave their situation. They don't have the courage to leave entirely. But they also can't keep going the way they have been because their soul has been repressed. Essentially, it's gonna explode. It has to release itself somehow. And I think maybe for a lot of us, this has been happening. We can feel that it's like a pot that's over boiling and it's starting to let out little breaths here and there. Maybe they're coming out in the wrong moment, at the wrong people. You're getting mad at the wrong people. You're getting upset about the wrong things. Upset about things that you're not even really upset about, but because you're upset about something else, and this is just like some manifestation of something else. The straw on the camel's back. Instead of carrying all of that and letting it out in these tiny little releases and breaths, all this is so tiring. We really need to just face the music. Like, we need to face the music and let it crumble. Stop trying to hold anything together or hoping to go back to the way it was. There is no going back to the way that it was, y'all. It's not gonna go back. It can't go back. You can't unsee something you've seen. You've seen it. It's done. We need to see it. We just need to accept that we've seen it. Let it all crumble. Now, I think for some of us, this has to do with a relationship, and for others, it might have to do with a job and a creative idea. Now, in the relationship, there have been some lies. There's been more than lies. There's been a lot of immaturity, a lot of arguing over silly things. I'm seeing someone with a childish attitude and someone with a parenting attitude. This long-running relationship where somebody is constantly trying to teach the other or show the other, and the other person is constantly trying to argue why they don't need to be taught or shown and that they already know, and yada, 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 yada. So there's this unequal power dynamic in the relationship, a pattern of baby and mama, and you don't want to see it. You're trying to keep it. You're trying to think, well, but the potential, but they have potential. Is there potential in the room with us right now? Yeah, no, you have to let it go. You have to let it go. It's these two right here. Whoever you are, you're a queen. Okay? You're a queen. This person is a page. Neither of you is better or worse than the other, but you are on different levels. Emotionally, mentally. Not only that, you should be friends with this person. You know, you can teach them a lot if you weren't their lover, I think. If it weren't the dynamic between you, the intimacy wasn't as it is, maybe a little less intimacy would actually facilitate a friendship between the two of you, because you might have a lot to learn from each other. They might have a lot of energy, youthful, creative energy that you like they have lots of good ideas. They're really funny. They talk a lot. They entertain you. But ultimately, you need to go step into your power. You have work to do. This is a child playing, okay? You are on some serious shit. You are trying to make some shit happen. You're trying to get into your Hanged Man, Devil, Temperance, Sun, Empress, all that energy. You're trying to get on it. You're trying to step into your firepower. And you're not going to do that while you're constantly trying to raise somebody that you didn't give birth to. Let it go. Whether you've broken up with this person already and are missing them, whether you're there already, at least take some of your power back from this situation. Oh my gosh, you guys. I told you we were all on a vibe. Literally. Anyways, my roommate's looking at me all freaky, like, what? Now that's in the case if your situation, your tower situation is a relationship. If your tower situation, because here's the other narrative I'm seeing here. If your situation has to do with work and a new creative idea, then again, I think maybe you might be in between a job that pays you well and a creative idea that may or may not give, that may or may not, bring in the bag. And you like the bag. You hate the job, maybe hate the people. You maybe despise everything and the whole idea of having to constantly repress your creative power, but you like the money. Now, the thing is, your idea is good. Your idea is really good. Money is good too, but none of the cards suggest whether or not you're going to make money. The Sun does suggest that you will be successful in whatever you choose. And Temperance suggests that you're going to come up with a creative solution that works for you, so that the path, the next step, the decision doesn't have to be so black and white. It might look like you either have to stay at this job and do what you do, or you have to quit it so that you can focus on your art. But maybe, possibly, there's a situation where you can create just enough time for yourself to be creative while still supporting yourself financially. Then when you can see a way forward with your art that is both practical and creative, where you can both support yourself while also doing what you love, then you can quit your job. It does not have to be cutthroat. It doesn't have to be black and white. You don't have to judge yourself for liking the money of your job. We all like money. We all need money. So it's not entirely superfluous of you to consider that before you just run after your dreams. Because there are hundreds of thousands of worth of people out there with failed dreams. And to just chase a dream is nothing, but to really build it right where you are, from right where you're standing, that is a true accomplishment. And where you're standing now is in a job. I'm sure that job doesn't have you working 24/7. You're working, 40 hours a week max? That's if you're working the most difficult jobs. There must be a way to incorporate 1 hour every week on that 40 for yourself, for your art, for your book, for your paintings, for your sculpting, for your business idea, for your tarot practice, your astrology, whatever it is. I'm sure you can find that 1 hour. Whatever that means to you, step into your power. Step into your power, make a tiny bit of space for yourself. It doesn't have to be so dramatic. Keep making your bag, get yourself on your feet, and walk away on that. Now, one more thing is the Hanged Man in reverse. which means that wherever you are and whichever of these narratives is the one that applies to you, and this includes myself as well, there's one thing that we are missing in our restlessness here. And it's that this time now that we're dreading so much, being confused and worried and all of that, this is literally the allocated time for us to wisen up, like to literally reflect, meditate, study, be still, put our ego aside. The Hanged Man is all about finding our center, finding ease in suspension. We feel suspended. So does the Hanged Man, but look at him. He's chilling. We're upside down, meaning that we're not chilling. We're trying to get out of the suspension. We're trying to make everything happen according to our will. We're trying to be dramatic. We're trying to make the giant move. We want to live our lives like a movie, and we want everything to go by in a montage and have it be over without us having to do all the work. Bro, no. Sit down, sit still, shut up. Literally. When I see this card, it means I need like a 24-hour silence. I do that every so often. And I urge you to try it as a practice. If you can do a 72-hour practice, 72-hour silence, like just spend 3 days without saying a word, wow, it'll change you. It'll change who you are, I'm telling you. Just 3 days. Even 24 hours. Even 24 hours will make you like, wow. The greatest message for us here is, despite everything going on, what we need most of all is to be still. Did that resonate with you guys? Who did that resonate? Tell me in the chat if that resonated with you, if that was about you. I know it was about me, for sure. It was spot on in several ways for me. We're all on a vibe. I love it. All right, let's take a little break before we do another one. And let me remind you that if you would like to learn, to read, to channel, to meditate, to interpret, like me, like an alchemist in my style, you can now go to my website, twitchy-witch.com, get a ticket for the next workshop, and it'll come with 10 hours worth of video material for you to study. 10 hours. Cultural history of tarot, all of the basics and foundations, rules for tarology as an alchemist, spreads and how to read them, numerology, colors, major, minor arcana, and deep dives into the mythological and religious symbolism of the Waite-Smith Tarot. And then you'll have access to the live 4-hour workshop where I'm going to read you and you're going to read each other under my guidance. Go get your ticket because they're going fast. It's in a month. The sales will close in 2 weeks so that I have 2 weeks to send everyone the material so that you can study. If you're going to come, if you've bought a ticket and you're buying a ticket, choose one deck to work with. Because by the end of this whole workshop experience, between the material and the live workshop, you are going to have the most solid connection that you can with a deck. And then you'll be able to use those same tools, like those same lessons, and establish a connection with another deck. And then you'll just have all of these different relationships with your different decks in a way that is particular and unique to you, as opposed to something cookie cutter that you can find in a guidebook with, any deck you happen to pick up. So yeah, please consider coming to the workshop. It's going to be awesome. All of my workshops have been very successful so far. Everyone loves them. It's usually a great time. Lots of people are coming back. They're repeat customers, repeat students. So yeah, go check it out. It's on my website, twitchy-witch.com. And now let's take a little break. We don't have our sponsors today because I need to go to Costco. We do have water. So yeah, let's thank our beloved sponsors of life, you guys. Water. Water is life. I don't have a golden tarot deck. I I'm using Marseille, and before that, I would only use the Wade Smith. I haven't actually used other decks, to be honest with you. But for the workshop, you can bring whatever deck you want. The tools that I'm going to teach you work on any 78 card tarot deck. If you're, like I was saying earlier, if you're someone who reads tarot, but you still feel disconnected from your cards, feel like you haven't really touched the magic of it, and you feel like you could use a little guidance to really getting the hang of it, this is perfect for you. If you're a beginner, also, like if you know nothing at all about the tarot, even better, because you're unencumbered by all of the expectations and meanings and all the things that come with, because the natural thing to do when you first get a deck is to just open the book and, pull some cards and read their meanings and be like, okay, well, now what? When really, I think that's really harmful. It gets your mind confined to that definition, and you can't think outside of it. Like, you can't just look at the narrative and see a story playing out. Your mind is just distracted by, oh, this is the meaning. These are the words that are associated with this card. When exactly, Odessa, you need to use your intuition. And that's why this workshop, the style that we're going to be reading in, is an intuitive-based method that I developed personally. We're going to be learning, on top of all of the rules, basics, foundations, history, cultural history, symbolism, religious and mythological, you're going to be learning in the workshop, the live workshop, you're going to be learning my intuitive method. The intuitive method that I developed using a spread that I developed as well. Yeah, my whole practice, even the videos that you're going to watch to prepare yourself, are all about mindset, intuition, tapping into intuition. I do a lot of demonstrating on how we play with the cards and play with the images. Ultimately, tarot is a spiritual practice, and a practice to enhance your experience, your spiritual experience, your journey, your life experience. It's something that colors our time, something that allows us to project and play and be imaginative, something that allows us to activate something unconscious within us. And that's why I think the real magic of tarot is between two people. Because when somebody else tickles something hiding deep in the pits of your mind, it's so much more satisfying. It's so much more of a surprise that somebody else could see you or could pluck that part of you, as opposed to, you seeing it yourself. Sometimes you won't even want to see it. And it's just as magical to be the one awakening something in someone at the same time. So it's just a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful exchange. It's magical. I think tarot is magical. It's like the highest form of therapy, in my opinion, if you have a good reader. So yeah, that's our collective reading. The look on their face, legit. It is. It genuinely is. And I take my connection to therapy from Alejandro Jodorowsky, because I always felt that that's what it was, but I was always like shy to say it. And then when I read it in Jodorowsky's Guide to the Tarot, The Way of Tarot, I was like, oh, well, if he thinks that's what it is, then that's what it is. Hey, chicken drumsticks, where you been? It's been a while. How far back does the history of tarot go? Well, what's really interesting is that the history of tarot, is a mystery history. It's very mysterious. We don't actually know for sure where the practice of divination by cards or when it came to be. But it does have a long and interesting history all over the world. And part of your workshop ticket will have an 1.5 to 2 hour long history of the tarot video as part of your preparation material, and it's history infused with reading. So you'll be learning to read and you'll be learning symbolism while also learning the history of the development of tarot as a practice and as a game and as art. So yeah, if you get a workshop ticket, which if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Go get a workshop ticket. They're like very well priced for the almost 15 hours worth of material and learning that you're gonna get. So if you haven't already, like, hurry up, go. I won't believe that you're interested in tarot if you haven't gotten a ticket yet. What card fell? I'm not gonna say. Let's read somebody specific. I'm gonna pull a card, and whoever can guess the card, I will read them. Okay? All right. Come on, you guys. It's like the only card that hasn't guessed yet. Come on, yo. Knight of Swords. Who said Knight of Swords? There it is. Catherine Rising. It's the Knight of Swords. Catherine Rising got it. Let's read Catherine. Are you ready? Do you have a question? Or should we just do a free-for-all? Anything. Oh, Catherine. It's giving. Oh, Catherine. Catherine, you have some mystical cards because you got the Empress, the third major arcana card, the Chariot, the seventh major arcana card, and then the Four of Swords. And as we can see, and we know, 3 and 4 equate to 7. What it looks like, Catherine, is that you are, or were, or have been somewhat secure in yourself. You are something of a provider, a creator, perhaps a mother, a caretaker, a creator for sure. And you're about to embark on something new. Out of a new experience, you're building off of new experiences to create an even newer experience. So it looks like you've been doing something for a while. Oh, you are a caretaker. You're a nurse. Okay. And I guess you've been a nurse for a long time, but it looks like you want to move. You want to move forward maybe in a new way. Maybe you're getting a new position. Maybe you're changing positions or branching off into something, but you're moving forward. And the Four of Swords with the flower in it is showing you growing within parameters that have created a nice safety around you. But perhaps they've reached a point where you're feeling a little bit blocked by them. So you have been growing in a nice environment. You're not like in a toxic environment or anything, but to a certain degree, it's like it's become a little bit restrictive. Like you can't grow as much as you would like. You want to branch off. You want to move in your own way. You want to bring together some of the different levels or types of knowledge that you have to do something a little different. I'm in ER right now looking for a change. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Why you have the Chariot here and why the Four of Swords, like I was saying, it doesn't look like it's not that your work environment is toxic, but it just almost is limiting. Like you've already taken everything that you can from the situation. You've learned everything you can learn. Maybe it's starting to get like a little bit stagnant, a little bit boring. That's the thing about the Four. Stability is stagnant, but because you have this natural caretaker, creative energy within you, these two are coming together so that you can branch off in a new direction. And one message in this would be to just follow your gut, really. Like if there's something you're kind of holding back from doing, a job you're holding back from asking for, someone you're holding back from talking to who you know can help you out, who can take you to where you want to go or give you what you need, just do it. Just take what's yours. Take what you know is yours. You know what I mean? The Chariot very much has the energy of willpower and movement. And I think it's just so interesting that he's bringing that movement to these other two cards. I hope that resonated, Catherine. Did it resonate? How did that feel? What do you think? Awesome. Well, I am an older sister. I'm an oldest sister. All right, y'all. Once again, let me remind you that if you want to learn to read like me, read anyone, anywhere, with any deck, go sign up for my workshop. You'll get 10 hours worth of preparatory material. So if you're an absolute beginner, or you've been reading for a while and you're just a little bit all over the place, and all you can do really is pull cards and read from a guidebook, go sign up for my workshop. I don't know why you haven't already. It's going to give you everything you need for any and every deck, with spreads and readings and exercises, and then a chance to also be read by me at the workshop and to read someone else under my guidance. We're going to take a little break, you guys. I can't just read people back to back that quickly. I mean, it is an energetic exchange, and I'm not really getting an exchange from this, so I'm just spending energy. Give me a minute to recharge. I'm going to be using the Marseille, but you can use any deck you want, and in the videos preparing you for, you're going to get 10 hours, like a course essentially on the tarot, 10 hours worth of video material to prepare you for the workshop. And in those videos, I'm going to be using Marseille and Waitsmith. You guys are so sweet. What do you do to meditate? Well, I just sit down and breathe, usually. It depends. You know, sometimes there's a really cool person in our Discord. His name is Elias. From time to time, he does like guided meditations for groups of us in the Discord. So sometimes I do that. Sure, chicken drumstick. I would love that. So yeah, sometimes I do that. And sometimes it depends. Every time is different. Is there a correlation with playing cards in tarot? There is a deep correlation. And if you want to know the full history of tarot, to get, you know, one of the videos of your package with the workshop is on the cultural history of the tarot and how to read with the cultural history in mind. And that has a full deep dive on how the tarot is related to playing cards. So go get your ticket. Like, what are you waiting for? I'm going to take a minute to thank our beautiful sponsors. Water, because water is life. Yeah, Lilith is a great character. There's lots of fun lore about Lilith, because religious men of old have been misogynistic for a really long time. You know, you'd be surprised to see how much more they hated women way back when, in like the 1300s. You know, it's surprising, but it's real. As much as they hate us now, they hated us even more way back when. That's why we have so much fun Lilith lore. They didn't know we were gonna like reclaim that shit and be like, yeah, that's a flex now. Saying no to God, that's a flex now. We're not scared of God anymore. Because that's the whole deal with Lilith, especially in the alphabet of Adam and Eve. Alfabeta de Vencida, the whole issue is that she goes against God's will and she says the divine name and flies away. That's why she's so awful. Like, that's the whole thing. And back then, that would have been thought abominable by anyone. No man would ever do that. But look, you make a woman equal, and she'll go so far as saying the ineffable name. They can't be controlled, these women. Anyways, we do love Katie Bush. We do love Katie. We are big fans of Katie here and in the Twitchiverse. Yeah, they too smart. They too smart. They can't know that they were made the same, because, you know, if they're that smart and made as well as Adam, well, what would be left for Adam to do? She could do everything he can and more. What happens now? Habibi, know me more. I don't fix people anymore. I gave that up. Ooh, the Emperor. Very cool. Beauty is never lonely. There's always someone to admire you. You're getting in touch with your true voice. That's great. Does the accuracy of tarot sometimes scare you? Not anymore. I've been reading tarot for a long time. I only expect it to be accurate. It's like a given. When it's not accurate, if anything, that would be scary. Not because there's something wrong with the cards, but because I know the person in front of me is lying. I mean, if you're going to lie in a tarot reading, then you need more professional help. Let me put it that way. My hair is such a mess today. What's my ethnicity? Well, so my skin is mostly space. In fact, most of what I am is mostly space and electrons. If that includes my blood, then I would guess my ethnicity is of the earth, of humanoidos, humanis. Stop asking me where I'm from. Untamed. I was trying to tame it. That's why it looks a little bit flat today and weird. I tried to tame it. It was a mistake. Absolutely a mistake. Ask me more things about me so I can lie to you. Oh, ha ha ha. Me, 100. I am an alien. You know, look, the Federation doesn't want me to tell you this. I mean, if you can't see it already, then, like, I'm sorry to say that you're just not that clever. But don't you see how my name has the word alien in it? Like, that's literally to throw humans off. I'm actually alien NE. NE is like my number. But the Federation uses letters to demarcate us. My letter is NE, like anything, anyone. Alien anyone. You see what I mean? So yeah, don't tell them that I told you this. Don't tell anybody else. Keep it in the chat, y'all. Keep it between us. You saw the movie clip. Wow, a lot of you saw the movie clip. That's so cool. I'm so glad that you like it. Does Mono Daddy know about the Federation? The Federation knows about Mono Daddy. Duh. But they know that he's an egregore. One of many Mono Daddies and Poly Daddies. There are so many Sky Daddies in the history of humanity. Mono Daddy is just one on their list. They know all about our lore. All about our gods. All about our religions. They know all about our bullshit and all of these daddies that we made up because we were scared of mommy nature. But they don't care. They don't judge us. They don't judge us. They understand. And that's why I'm so understanding. You see, because I am here to do research. I want to know about you. I want to know what you believe in, what you read, what your lore is like, what's happening in your little brain. What is it carrying? For a lot of us, well, a lot of you, because I'm an alien. For a lot of you, your unconscious is full of images of Jesus Christ on the cross, and Adam and Eve, and a serpent, and forbidden fruit, and a garden that was once so beautiful, and antediluvian times, innocence, shame, regret, guilt. That's how I imagine humans live their life. Longing, blame. It wasn't me, it was them. They did this to me. They control everything. I have nothing. I'm powerless. All I have is this massive, totally uncontrollable brain that no one seems to quite understand because it's so freaking powerful that it actually creates the entire world around me. Poor me. It's all I have. We're like goldfish in a bowl. Kind of, but better. We're like Sims who have been given the choice of free will, but who on the most part choose not to engage with it. You see what I mean? This is really interesting in the discussion of context of NPCs. People talk about NPCs. I think this is an extremely judgmental term. I would never call anyone an NPC, and I don't think anyone is an NPC. But I think that this is the term NPC and this characterization is a mischaracterization in judgment of autopilot, of a mode on autopilot, which we all have. We can all be moving in autopilot, and we all will at one point or another. No one is 1,000% every second of every day on top of it all in their full highest awareness. We all have our autopilot moments. Our body most of the time is moving in autopilot. We learn our mannerisms, for example, from our parents. And I use my hands to speak because both of my parents use their hands to speak. That even is unconscious. Even if everything I'm saying is I'm fully aware of and I've studied and thought through, and I make sure my voice is measured and I remain present with you in this moment, and I remain aware of the fact that I'm on a live, I'm on your phone, you're probably doing something else, you might be typing in the chat, all of that, still the unconscious exists in this moment with me, if nowhere else but in my hand gestures, in the voice that I inherited from my mother, from my father, in the way that they decided to raise me, in what kind of mentality. All of that lives with you. When you're not aware, when you're not paying attention to your breath, when you're not questioning yourself before saying a nasty thing, when you're talking and repeating phrases that you know aren't completely true to you, but you're saying because you want to satisfy a certain situation, or you want to be part of a clique, or you want to be liked, or you want to be accepted. All of this is NPC behavior. All of this is you in autopilot. That doesn't mean you are an NPC or that you are always on autopilot, but it does mean that you're not being your fullest light beam self right now. You are letting programming take over. You're letting your own NPC-ness take you over. You're letting yourself slip into autopilot, essentially. And I know Dolores Cannon talks about this, but I disagree heavily. Autopilot is the ego. The ego, guided by the unconscious, by the shadow, by the collective unconscious. Autopilot is the ego. Yourself is the expression of the soul. Your authentic self, your authentic voice. So for example, if you start with the natural voice, finding your true voice. You've seen my true voice videos, right? So if you start from there, you'll notice that you can't, in that voice, just say anything and everything like you would if you were using your customer service voice. Like if you were just talking like this, then like whatever, like you would just talk and you wouldn't really care and it wouldn't really matter what you were saying because you were just kind of rambling on, and like everybody just like random rambles on, and everybody like uses the word like all the time, and like who really cares? And you know what I mean? That's how most of us operate, and that is pretty autopilot-y. But if you are intentional about the vibration, the vibrational tool inside of you, it wouldn't let you talk like that. Like, can you even imagine me saying those same words in this voice? That's how women talk, not men. That's how all people talk, especially all people in Southern California. I pretty much just did like a Valley Girl accent to a degree, but boys talk like that too. I could just do it a little more deeply and then be like, whatever, like this is just how I want to be. Like you can't really tell me what to do. It's not like you're my mom. Like stop trying to tell me what to do. Like what? Like if you want the dishes done, you should do them yourself. Like what? Like It does sound fun. If you can do it intentionally like I am, it won't take over your mind. But if this is your like natural tone, like this is just how you talk like all the time, and you always say shit like shit, and you always say, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Oh my God, I can't. Oh my God, I'm so dumb. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Oh my God, I'm the worst. I'm the absolute worst. I'm awful. I can't do it. I literally don't know how to do anything. I don't know anything. I can't do anything. I'm the worst. I'm so bad at this. I'm pretty sure that this is a normal, continuous dialogue for many of you. I know a lot of people like this. I feel like most people talk to themselves like this. And I don't know if you know how harmful that is to who you are. I mean, it's not like the most dangerous thing in the world. You're not going to terribly hurt yourself in any physical way, but you are hurting yourself. You know, you're just spending time away from yourself that could have been spent close to yourself, learning yourself, expanding yourself, creating yourself, rather than exactly cultivating self-loathing without even realizing it. Because at the same time, these same people will also be confident and will also say things like, oh, I'm the baddest bitch. I'm this. I'm all that. I do this. I do that. I have all the power in the world. I'm so powerful. My girls got me. My boys got me. Whatever. This is the same person. But weirdly enough, the positive doesn't have as powerful an impact on us as the negative when they're mixed together somehow. And it's not about reversing the negative self-talk and being positive. It's not about just taking the I hate myself and turning it into I love myself, as much as it is embodying the love of self. And to embody the love of yourself is to be genuinely interested in finding out who you are. If you're not willing to learn new things, to be wrong, to read books that are in genres that you're not used to, or watching movies that you wouldn't usually watch, or hanging out with people you wouldn't usually hang out with, going to new places, learning a new language, doing anything that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, takes you a little bit outside your box, teaches you something new, you're never going to know yourself. You don't really know who you are if you don't explore the world and show things to yourself. How do you know if you like something if you never see it? You can't. Your favorite song is probably still out there. You just haven't heard it yet. And if you're lucky, your favorite song will change every few days. Every time you discover new music, your favorite song should change. I mean, of course, keep your classics, but you should always have new music in your life, new stories, new knowledge, a new language, a new person. Like, why? There's no time to waste. The time is very limited, y'all. The time is very limited. We will die very soon. We're already dead. We're already dead. I'm telling you. You're going to blink. You're going to blink and remember this moment. Be like, it feels like yesterday I was watching Twitchy Witch on TikTok. And now here I am watching her as a hologram. No, I'm just kidding. But also not. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, life is about experiences. What do you mean, what is alchemy? It's literally what we're talking about right now. This is alchemy, bro. Alchemy is change. The art of change. The art of transformation. Recommend some music? I actually have some great public playlists. You should go check them out on Spotify. I have a bunch. Yes, the workshop is open. I think about half the tickets are already gone. So if you haven't already, go get your workshop tickets. Go to my website, twitchy-witch.com. The first link that says workshop, go get the tickets. Go get them now before they are all gone. Like I said, you'll get 10 hours worth of preparation material, from the history of the tarot to all of the basics, rules for tarology, spreads and how to read them, numerology, major arcana and minor arcana, symbolism breakdowns, deep dives into mythology and religion, exercises all the way throughout these. And you're going to have 2 weeks before the workshop to work on these, to get yourself ready for the workshop. Because in the workshop, we are going to be reading each other. I'm going to be reading you, and you will be reading each other while I guide you. And of course, we're going to have Q&A after. And then you'll have all of that material. Like, that'll be altogether like 13 to 15 hours worth of material. You will have that to keep for you to use on any deck at all. You can establish relationships with any deck you want. And after you do all of this material and after this workshop, like, I can guarantee 100% that you are going to have a next level relationship with your cards like you never knew before. So yeah, check it out. And if you haven't already, go join our Discord. Join the Twitchyverse for book clubs, tarot circles, film nights, giveaways, a whole bunch of fun stuff. We do lots of fun stuff. Trivia. There's always fun stuff happening in the Discord, especially if you like conversations like this. Like Oracle, if you want to talk your theory about Mecca, would be perfect for our religion channel in the in the Twitchyverse Discord. Also, yes, Katie is in the Twitchyverse, and we love Katie. Exactly. Amanda Zaddy is also in the Twitchyverse. It is second home. So is Aida. our disciple Bart. Oh, there she is, Katie, disciple Bart. Yes. Hey, Muhammad. Actually, I am gonna go because I'm a little bit tired and I want to eat something and maybe go outside again. Uh, yeah. But you guys, if you haven't already, go get your workshop tickets, okay? It's gonna be freaking awesome. You don't want to miss it. It is amazing value. You are gonna be getting a shit ton of value for a fantastic price. And it's gonna be a great time. There is a little promo code for our Twitchiverse members, for our Discord members. So if you join our Discord, you can go find our Twitchiverse Lightbeam promo code and it'll give you a little bit discount. Yes, it's online. It's on Zoom. And if you can't make it to the session, you will still get a recording of the session with all of the rest of the material afterwards. So everything is on my website, twitchy-witch.com. Everything is there. Link to the Discord, link to the workshop. Oh no, the currency doesn't work. Oh, well that sucks. Well, it's going to be available for the next 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to purchase the ticket if they don't sell out. Because like I said, half of them are already gone. So yeah, be quick. And this is not a marketing strategy. I'm genuinely telling you this. And anybody who's been to these workshops before knows that I'm 100. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm 100. But if you've been to one of these workshops before, you know I'm serious when I say that they sell out fast. So yeah, go get your ticket now. And I'm going to go rest a little bit. Feeling a little bit tired. Maybe because we read a bunch of these cards, but also because I was in the sun before I came here. Yes, of course, we've read The Prophet a couple of times on my live. All right, y'all. I love you. You're the best. This was a lot of fun, and I will see you here again in a few days. Love you. No, you're the best. Why isn't it ending? Well, this is fun. Ya Allah. Meow. Electronics. Not understanding. Meow. Confusing. No, you hang up. You hang up, Mauricio. You hang up. It won't end. Like I'm clicking end now, but it won't. It doesn't want to end. So what's up, you guys? Oh, okay. I think it should work. Love you.